Hi there, welcome back to the Random Commander Week here. Want to know what I'm talking about? Go and watch Monday's video. Explains it all to you. Well, Sunday evening if you're stateside, depending when you're watching this. So, next commander that was randomly generated was Sylvia Brightspear. Now, the trouble is, Sylvia Brightspear is really good. 2 and a white for a 2/2 human knight. Double strike. But it has 2 abilities. It has a partner with Khorvath, Brightflame, and then dragons your team controls have double strike. So I didn't have any real option but to include Khorvath, Brightflame as well. 5 and a red for a 3/4 dragon that has flying and haste and gives all the knights your team controls have flying and haste. Yeah, had to do a partner pairing. Don't do them very often. People don't like partners for some reason. They definitely don't like backgrounds at the moment. I know that for a fact, judging by the games I see on MTGO. But this one really did have to be a partner pairing to make it work. So, here's what today's deck is all looking like. As usual, I'll start with the mana base. Sorry, I just moved the camera there if you wonder what happened. Red and white lands all the way through. Now, I'm not going to lie, this mana base is going to be a little bit pricey because I'm using this purely, this is commander pairing I'll purely be using online. So there's a few cards in here that may be outside of people's prices ranges. So, Erid is here, which most people probably have picked up by now. We've got all the red and white lands you could think of in here. But one of the reasons this may be a little bit pricey is I have Plateau in here. Just so aware, again, it's because I'm going to be playing this purely online. So you can take Plateau out, you can put another plains in, another mountains in, another generic land if you want to. For once in my life, in a deck like this, I'm not playing Reliquary Tower, I'm not playing Temple of the False God. They've come out for this because I want to make sure I was getting red and white all the way through as much as possible. However, I think it's worth pointing out that I'm playing Hidden Courtyard and Hidden Volcano. I'm still trying out the Discover lands from our latest Lost Caves of Excellence, Caverns of Excellence set. Sorry, I'm starting to find them quite useful in Commander, just to give me something to do with my mana if I've got nothing else to do with it at the end of a turn. But for now, that's what we're going with. So they're here. You can take them out if you want to, but I'm still trying them out here. Mana ramp, artifact ramp wise. Oh, and it's worth pointing out Emiria's here as well. Sorry, that's here. We have got enough planes to do it between all of these and all the other lands we have coming through, so there's enough planes in the deck to trigger it if we need to. Alpine Meadow for example. Yeah, we can do it. Anyway, artifact ramp, heavy. Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, Thought Vessel, Talisman of Conviction, one of each of the medallions. I had to go big because we're playing a deck that revolves around dragons and some knights, and we want to make sure we have the dragons in play to take a bonus advantage of Sylvia. I had to really go heavy on the mana ramp, so that's why I'm playing this mainly online. There's no way I don't own Mana Vault, I don't own Mana Crypt in real life, therefore this is why I'm saying it's an online only deck, so a little bit explosive. So here we go. I'm going to kick off with the rest of the deck now. We have a little bit of targeted removal with Path to Exile. Fervent Champion is also here, just so we can have a little bit of fun and have a knight on turn 1 if we need it to. Elixir of Immortality gives a way to shuffle everything back in once it's been killed off. Over to the 2 drops, Leon and Sky Hunter, 2/2 knight with flying for 2 whites. A little bit complicated, but yeah, it's worth it. Order of the White Shield, Pro Black, White Knights here. Obviously, Order of the White Shield you can pump up. Originally appeared in Ice Age, if I remember correctly. White Knight is one of the traditional ones from back in the day of yore. Dragon Tempest, because eventually we will have all our creatures having fly, so we might as well make sure we can give them all haste. Makes sense to me. One of the non-human knights or dragon creatures in the deck is Loyal Apprentice. We have got a few of the lieutenant cards in here. Loyal Apprentice I like just because it means we get a 1/1 Thopter, so we've got a bit of a blocker going on. Inspiring Veteran gives all our knights +1/+1. Don't think there's anything there I haven't talked about already. Sky Hunter Strike Force is actually quite nice. This is a lieutenant that actually is a knight. So, and it gives him melee to all our other creatures. So, that's all good. Whenever this creature attacks, if you can't remember the words of melee, it gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn for each opponent you attack this combat. So as long as you're attacking each of your opponents with at least one creature, they're all going to get +3/+3. Bear it in mind. Fiendslayer Paladin, Pro White. Sorry, can't be the target of red or black spells. Sorry, not protection. Has got lifelink and first strike, so a little bit of way of keeping things going. Knight Exemplar makes all our knights indestructible as well as pumping them up. However, notice Knight Exemplar is not indestructible, it's all the other knights, so be careful. Paladin on Vec is the one I was thinking of that has Pro Black, Pro Red, and first strike, so we like that. Silverblade Paladin, we pair it up with something else and gives all our other thing double strike. Benelish Marshal just pumps all our creatures up as well as being a knight, so you know, benefits from getting flying and haste when it comes into play, so Khorvath in play. Chaos Warp, just to get rid of that annoying permanent that's driving us mad. Dragon Rage, I'm trying out in this deck. I like this. Plus, add a red, 1, 2, 3 mana, add a red for each attacking creature you control, then they all get fire breathing. Seemed like quite a fun fit in this deck more than anything else, so I think it's worth trying out for a change. Goblin Rough Rider's just a 3-drop, 3/2 knight. Imodane's Recruiter, I like this one from Wildsvale Drain. I think most people have lost to this in a draft in that format at this stage. 4 and white for the adventure side of it, and get a couple of knight tokens with vigilance, which is great. And then red and 2 for the other side of it. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until the end of turn. I have lost to this. Well, I've made people lose this several times in drafting, and I think as a as an uncommon card, it was completely underrated in all sorts of constructed formats, and I think it's got home here, so hence why it's here today. Jeskar's Will had to be here. Mana, card draw, we like it. It's likewise a Chroma's Will's here, just to make sure we can punch through at the end. The great thing about this, because we are getting flying and double strike off some of our commanders over here, yes, it's nice to do all of it, but if you haven't got them in play, you can just do it and go that way. Bear it in mind. Law Unicorn, one of the other non-dragon or knight creatures in the deck, prevents all combat damage that dealt to creatures we control, and other creatures we control get vigilance until the end of turn, so that's quite cool. Day of Judgment gives a bit of ball control if we need it. Hero of Bladehold gives us tokens, soldiers that we can attack with, as well as doing the battle cry trigger. Young Red Dragon gives us a treasure token earlier and becomes a 3/2 flyer that can't block at the end of the day, but it's a 3/2 flyer for 4 mana, which isn't the end of the world. A Tushai, the Blazing Sky, 2 and 2 red. We all know what this does. Exile the cards, we'll get some treasure tokens when it dies. Chain Reaction gives us even more ball control if we need it. Chord of Embereth makes us the Monarch and gives us a knight every turn. That we are the no matter what we are. And then if we're the Monarch, we get to deal X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of creatures we control. Which in this deck should be fairly easy to keep the Monarchy, I think, with the amount of dragons we have. Hero of Oxidge Ridge can't be blocked by creatures with power 1 or less, but it does the whole haste and battle cry trick. And Tour Deviant Fury Arida, 1 double red and a white from Dominaria. Vigilance and Trample. When it attacks, all other attacking creatures get +1/+1 to the end of the turn. Red creatures get Trample, white creatures get to be untapped. Seems quite good to me. Guardian Scalelord from March of the Machine Commander, there we go, has the backup ability, and it gets the flying, and it says whenever this creature attacks, return target non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is this creature's power. Now, with the amount of pumping power we've got here, we should be able to return most of the things that may have been killed off, so bear it in mind. Great card. Bit pricey on MCGO, I'll be honest. I was surprised when I picked one up for this deck, but I knew it existed, so I wanted it, so it's in here. AO, the Dawn Sky, just +1/+1 counters when it dies, more than likely. Scorched Region, a little bit of life gain and life and getting bigger as people cast spells. Unfinished Business is here just because I like it, and secondly because I think it's actually quite good to return a creature of any type for 5 mana in white. Not bad. I know there's Breath of Life you can do it with, which is 4 mana, and I haven't got any aura equipment in here, but I couldn't be bothered to go and find Breath of Life, so I've put it in Unfinished Business. I might change it with this deck, but for now, Unfinished Business is here. Virtual Loyalty had to be here, didn't it? Nice way of giving us an instant knight that we can use as an instant blocker, and then once we can get it into play, pumping our creatures and untapping them all each turn is fantastic. Ganax, Astral Hunter, one of the first dragons another one of the dragons to come through. This comes into play, you get a treasure. Another dragon comes into play, you get another treasure, so on and so forth. You all know what it does, you've all suffered through it before now. Likewise, everyone's suffered through Terror of the Peaks. absolutely pointless not having this card in here. Let's just ping everything with the power comes with their power when we come into play. Adrian, Captain of the Guard, does the whole melee thing, gives all of our creatures melee. You can have multiple issues of melee and they will trigger separately, so you get big creatures, so bear it in mind. If a creature has multiple instances of melee, each triggers separately. There you go, see? Wonderful. Really, really good. Adult Gold Dragon, flying, lifelink, haste. Yep, I had to remember. I've luckily, very luckily, remembered I had one slot left in the deck, and I remember this creature existed from the Forgotten Realms, and I hadn't picked one up, so solved that problem. Got one. Yep, I'll cope with 5 mana dragon that does all that for me. Thank you. Silverwing Squadron, another one of the Commander All Be One from Phyrexia. Power and toughness equals the number of creatures you control, so 6 mana 1/1, not great. 6 mana 6/6, yeah, cope with that. But whenever it attacks, create a number of 2/2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance equals the number of opponents you have. Obviously, if you have Khorvath in play, when you attack with this creature, they all get flying, which is going to upset your opponents greatly. The best card ever, according to certain members of the Magic community. If you know the joke, you know where I'm coming with this from. Circle of Loyalty is here. 1 less to cast for each knight we control. We control a few knights, pumps all our creatures up. Legendary spells, gives us knights, and we can just create knight tokens if we need to. Yep, okay. Rusi, when it dies, basically annihilates most of the ward, 50% I guess by now. Ancient Copper Dragon gives us a whole load of treasure to make casting things easier. Inferno of the Star Mounts just comes in as a big hasty dragon with hopefully double strike, which makes this even more impressive if you do the red one. You know, each one gives you an extra 2 points of damage. Lathias, Dragon Queen, had to be here because we are playing a lot of dragons and we might as well have even more dragons when they come in. Scourge of the Throne, let's do the whole dethrone bit. Go for an extra attack step with a bit of luck. Ancient Gold Dragon gives us fairy dragons when we attack with the D20. And Tyrant's Familiar, one of the most expensive lieutenants I think I've picked up so far. Again, another one that I need to think of. So as long as you control your commander, it gets +2/+2. It has whenever it attacks, it deals 7 damage to target creature defending player controls. Very nice, very expensive, very good. 5/5 for 7 mana. That's going to do this most of the time. One helps, but bear in mind if you pick one up on MTGO, it's expensive. I have no idea what it's going to be in real life. I haven't looked at the prices yet. The last card in the deck, Blasphemous Act. Had to have Blasphemous Act as the final bit of board control for this deck, and that is it. That's my really short and sweet take on Sylvia and Khorvath. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm still playing around with the graphics on the videos, trying to make them a bit more engaging. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm sure I can do it better. If anyone wants to send me a nice background for free, quite happy to take that, put that up on the screen, credit you. I'll put that in the video description. Yeah, might as well ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll be back tomorrow with yet another random commander that's been generated for me. It's going to be black blue tomorrow, so keep your eyes out for that one, and then that will be the last one for this week. Like I say, next week will be Christmas week. I have some things planned. Just as an announcement, although there's a link to my stream below, I'm having Christmas week off because I just can't fit in streaming as things stand at the moment. If I can fit one in, I'll jump on and do something quickly. But yeah, go and give me a follow, give me a little Christmas present of a follow on my stream down there. 205 followers on Twitch, 302 here on YouTube. If you can hit the sub button that's probably appeared over here somewhere under Khorvath, please do so. I'd love to get up to 500 by the end of 200 by the end of 2024. That would be lovely when I get up to 500. Way it's gone this year, might be able to do it, but I'm hoping I can. So help me kick off in the right direction. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Bye.